What's going on, everyone?
Hey, everybody. What's up, family?
How's everybody doing tonight? We're going to wait for the comments to come up there.
Yes, and then we'll just discuss my outfit. It's come to this.
If you're new to our channel, welcome. My name is Joe.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're 2krazyketos. And here on 2krazyketos, we do different things like product reviews and recipe videos. We talk about various keto topics. Every Monday, we sit down on the couch for Keto on the Couch. We talk about what's going on in our lives. And every Thursday, we live stream at 8:30 p.m.
Now, you can find us on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is 2krazyketos.com. That's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit that little bell icon. That way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Okay, so before we get into this ridiculous outfit, let's see who's in here real quick.
Yes.
Because you guys are all lined up. So
I love it.
Mr. Chris is here. Said sports consists mainly of watching bugs run around the yard right now.
Yes.
Rhonda is here.
Rhonda.
Joe is here. The Wright family is here. Miss Constance is here.
Constance.
Becky is here.
Hey.
Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Stephanie is here.
Hey,
Stacy.
Oh, cheers to Stephanie.
April is here. Had her 48th birthday yesterday.
Okay, you know what that means.
I know. She said, I feel better now than I did when I was 38. I'm fasting today and we'll end tomorrow afternoon with bacon, sausage, and eggs.
I think that is the greatest birthday meal possible.
Yes. Christopher is here. Lori is here. She loves all the colors.
Tamara you.
Paul is here. Carmen is here. Len is here. September.
Hey, September.
Becky said, did you see a peacock? Tamara is here. Heath is here.
Hey, Heath. Hey,
Dana.
Tamara.
Chastity. Been laying floors.
Ooh.
Miss D2U said, hello, my friend.
Hello, precious girl.
Carla is here. April said, Rachel, I love your shirts and your butterfly necklace.
Thank you, Miss April.
D-Daz is here.
Hey, D-Daz.
Vicket, right? Vicket253.
Vicky T.
Yes. Okay. Yvonne is here.
Hey,
Said, glad to
Yvonne.
see you again the second time today.
Hello.
Did we go live today?
Were you on earlier in somebody else's, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, I was on Autumn's this morning. Misty is here from Illinois.
Hey, Misty. Hey,
Jules
Gigi girl.
is here. And Liz, Adele, and then Sense with Lori, loving you in Arkansas.
Hello. Well, so it's April's birthday? Just let's verify. It's April. It's your birthday.
You want me to scan back through all of these?
I do. I want to make sure because we're going to sing. We got to sing. And I didn't bring, like, the sombrero to put.
It's April's birthday.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm not going to sing.
Yes, you are.
No, Chris is in here.
Don't worry, Miss Miriam, that Chris joking you about singing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss April. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
So, Miriam, this is what guys do. I thought it was hysterical when Chris said I can't sing. Because I can't sing.
No, he can't.
You know, God says all you have to do is make a joyful noise. Mine is barely it's a noise. I don't know how joyful sounding it is anyway.
I got him a tune. I put it in a bucket. I said, bring it over here. He's like, I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Okay, so let's talk about this ridiculous outfit. She came out, I'm like, please do not wear this.
So here's the thing.
Where did you even get this from?
I got this from my mother.
That figures.
This is from the 1970s. The woman is the best preserver of things that I've ever seen in my life. And with this whole thing that we've been going through and being quarantined, we're going to have to establish more theme nights because I can't go places and have theme nights. So today's theme night is the 1970s. And this is the outfit. Next week, 1980s, I want to give everybody fair warning. We're going to be totally awesome, totally rad. Bring your best 80s fashion to the live stream next Thursday.
Steph said if your singing makes someone smile or laugh, then it's joyful. Well, the problem is my singing makes you run.
Aww.
April said she's excited we did that. Rachel said, Chris said, Rachel, your mama dresses you funny.
She does dress me funny. So this is an outfit that she actually used to wear. Like she went out. This was going out. And I think the vividness of the clothing was amazing back then.
Since it's 70s night, I feel like after this, we need to go watch some of my favorite 70s TV shows, which consists of Good Times.
Oh, yes.
And MASH.
Okay, so...
that's what we should... Now
Good
we should...
Times is my favorite.
We're finishing up the 4th Mockingjay movie, because I love that whole Mockingjay series.
Yes.
But I feel like
Hunger Games?
We should just binge watch all of MASH.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't see every episode of MASH.
I love MASH.
We could totally do that.
Love MASH.
And it would be like...
How many people like MASH? It's such a good show.
Okay,
I know they did some things, but,
Other 70s shows, What's Happening?
What's Happening?
Was, like, one of my favorite. Watching Rerun
Good
Dance.
Times.
Good Times was
obviously... I'm confusing the 70s with the 80s, because I also liked things like... Facts of Life, Different Strokes, but those were all 80s shows, not 70s shows.
Right. What are some 70s shows that you really liked?
Miriam loved MASH.
MASH was awesome. Good Times, yes.
Good Times.
Anytime you need it, baby.
I love Good
Times. Florida. Okay, so here's the thing, though.
I liked All in the Family.
I am from Florida.
Was The Jeffersons a 70s or an 80s show?
The Jeffersons, I think, started in the 70s.
I think it started in the 70s.
I have Florida Evans' neck from Good Times.
Alice! Wasn't that an 80s show, too, though? Was that an 80s or a 70s show?
I feel like it started in the late 70s. MASH was Heath's jam. Okay, so I feel like I may have married Mel from Alice.
Alice was 1976 to 1985, so it was both. It was both.
Doesn't Joe seem like Mel?
Maybe a little bit.
I think you seem like Mel.
Christopher said, I've only seen 4 episodes of MASH. I should binge watch it too. It is really good, and I still say that MASH had one of the greatest series endings of any TV show. It was really good.
They had an end game.
Yeah.
Happy Days,
well,
yes.
I would hope they had an end game because Happy Days. There you go. I would hope that they had an end game for MASH because there was an end game for the war.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Happy Days. Thursday, Friday.
Vicky loved
Happy Days.
MASH. Sanford and Son. There was another one. Okay, Carol Burnett show.
So my brother has because
Chips. Loves Chips.
He's always selling stuff at conventions and things. Sanford and Son is actually his kind of nickname.
Oh, you guys are giving some awesome.
The Partridge Family.
Get Smart, Partridge Family.
I love the Partridge
80s
Family.
one, 8 is Enough. Did you watch 8 is Enough?
Yes.
I watched 8 is Enough too.
I did watch 8 is Enough. But I watched the Brady Bunch was still going on in the 70s, wasn't it? Or was it just the 60s?
Chris said 11 seasons of MASH. The show lasted longer than the actual Korean War. My parents didn't let us watch MASH.
That's why I didn't watch every single episode.
Yeah, they were, sleeping around with each other. But, I mean, it wasn't, graphic. Nothing like what you see today on TV show. But for back then, I remember reading this whole thing about, I think it was I Love Lucy when they pushed their beds together.
Scandalous.
And it was, scandalous that they pushed their beds together in an episode.
How do they think Ricky got made? Just appeared.
Anyone remember Que Pasa USA? No.
I remember...
Give me a break. There's another good one. The Addams Family.
I sure need one. What about... Oh, wait. I was just thinking...
The Munsters. Gilligan's Island. That was absolutely my favorite show.
Okay, so how many people have had something a trip go longer in the car and be like a 3-hour tour? This was supposed to be a 3-hour
Rachel
tour.
Every drive with Rachel. So.
Especially if I have the clicker for the radio.
Gail said, you sure aren't my age? Because I was watching all those shows in real time as a teenager. So was I. Well, I wasn't a teenager. I was born in 1970.
I was born in 1976, but all we had
Different Strokes
was the reruns channel. That was it. You had the head 4, right? It was NBC, CBS, ABC. And then you had these shows that were 29, 33, 39, which are kind of it was the original Fox network.
We didn't have that many shows.
They were they just showed reruns of everything. Even cartoons were reruns.
We had Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, which was CBS, ABC, NBC. Mm-hmm. Then we had...
Channel 2.
We had Channel 5, which is what Fox
PBS.
is now. We had Channel 9, which was, back then, it was called WWOR. It was just like a local kind of station.
Okay.
And then we had Channel 11, which was WPIX, which became like the Yankee channel.
Oh.
But those WWOR and WPIX were like local channels. They weren't like national. Now, like, you know, and even Fox wasn't a big network back then. You only had 3 major networks. And then we had UHF, where you could watch like Channel 13 PBS.
You know what I love to watch in the evenings? Anything my parents were watching, because
that's all we were allowed to watch.
Any control over the remote, right?
We had one television in our house until I was 13 years old, and it was a 13-inch black and white television. And then I remember when I was 13, my mom and dad went to like a home improvement show, and they came home with a TI-99 computer, so I was 13 or 14 years old, and a 13-inch color television. That was like, now we were stepping up. And then the black and white television became mine and my sister's, and we were able to watch this. But pretty much, like in the evening, once Dad got home, you watched the news and then sports.
Whatever he was watching.
And I was never a big sports watcher on TV. I just never liked I still don't like watching really sports on TV.
Golf's not your thing?
My sister loved to watch sports, so she got way into sports like baseball and stuff with my dad.
Thankfully, my mom had a little bit more control over the television, so like, yeah, we watched what she watched, so I'm glad I wasn't just like solid news.
And my dad watched the news, like, you know how there was like the 5 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the 7 o'clock news. It was all the way up until sports started. We watched the news.
Yeah.
Carmen said, All in the Family, never watched it when it originally aired, but I really enjoyed the reruns.
We were not allowed to watch All in the Family at all, but we did.
Heart to Heart.
I did watch it in reruns.
Emergency, Brady Bunch. These are some good shows.
Adam 12, Wonder Woman.
70s and 80s had some of the best television.
How did I miss Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman was my jam. Linda Carter, who, hello, is still gorgeous.
Funny, Green Acres, I never watched Green Acres until I was in like my late 20s, when you started getting into things like, what is that channel, what's the one on cable that you can watch a lot of the old shows?
Oh, you mean Turner Classic Movies?
No, not movie.
Green Acres.
It shows all those old TV shows and stuff, like Beverly Hillbillies.
Living is the life for me.
Oh, Taxi. I loved Taxi. That was another one.
I don't know. Christopher, was it
Welcome Back, Kotter?
Welcome Back. Here's the thing. These shows...
Princess Ninja is here.
Hey!
We're talking, if you're new, if you're just joining us, we're talking about 70s TV shows because Rachel decided it's 70s night.
It's 70s night.
Saved by the Bell. Now, that was the late 80s, 90s. But I did like that show.
Yeah, I watched that a lot.
Hardy Boys.
You're going to need to pull from that Saved by the Bell look, though. I guess they were kind of like the early 90s, but next Thursday is 80s night. So I want y'all to bring your biggest hair, and I mean, you can have the thing in the front. Remember, it was like teased up in the front, like really
Little
teased.
House on the Prairie. Now, that's a show that we watched from the time I was a kid.
We actually bought the series was like watching
it. Yeah, back when we had VHS.
We wanted all the kids to be like, do you see how these children talk to their parents?
Constance said, I've seen a majority of these shows, but this was way before my time. I was born in 1986. Constance is a baby.
She's a baby girl. She's a
the
tiny
Osmonds.
Little baby.
The theme songs for all these shows are bouncing around in my brain. Overload.
They had great songs, right? I feel like...
Back when every sitcom or TV show had a song, right?
Yes.
Like Three's Company. Everything had a song.
Okay, Three's Company, I love that. Although I can't believe that we were allowed to watch that because it's a little risque.
A lot of these shows would never make it today. Right?
No.
They would never make it today.
I don't think so.
Rowan and Martin's Laughing.
Aww.
Yes. Our daughter figured out Gilligan's Island didn't get an ending. She was mad. Yeah, it didn't. There was no ending to Gilligan's Island.
Maybe they're still there. Remember, this was like, for all those shows, they usually would have like a Visit Them Again series, right? They'd have like a reunion episode, and Gilligan's still trapped out there, and he's 110 years old.
They came out with a few movies.
Yeah.
They did have some Gilligan's Island movies. Kathleen said, hello, 2KK family, alive and well in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Hope you're staying
safe and staying healthy.
Adam 12. The Lawrence Welk Show. Oh.
The Mickey Mouse Club, WKRP in Cincinnati, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, Bewitched. There was another show, Bewitched.
We were not allowed to watch that.
No, we watched Bewitched. And, you know, the other show I watched, it was during the day. It was, not Bewitched. What was the other one? Oh my God. I Dream of Jeannie.
Okay, I
Loved I Dream of Jeannie. The Muppets.
No, we're still inside.
The
Wait, let me try it again. No, we're still stuck inside.
The Muppet TV show.
Yes.
Which was like in no way made for kids, but we used to watch it as a family.
Well,
that was not a kid show.
Things would just go over your head.
Yeah.
And you could see mom and dad laughing, and you would just
kind
of laugh.
But you didn't get the joke.
But there was enough cute stuff in it that you did have fun. Obviously, it was puppets.
Mickey Mouse Club, yeah.
Yes. Annette.
Funny story. So my dad grew up, with a lot of the shows. My dad was born in 1938. So he grew up with like Howdy Doody and stuff, and he had one of the original Howdy Doody puppets. And when my grandfather, his dad, got sick, I was responsible for going and cleaning out the house and taking care of stuff when he had passed away, and and selling off the home. And the home was like covered in like rat stuff in the attic. I mean, my grandfather was in his 80s and stuff, and so we decided we were just going to sell it as is. Like, we're not emptying a thing out. Like, just buy the house and you're responsible for cleaning it. My dad's like, my Howdy Doody was in the attic.
There was all kinds of toys.
But he's like, all kinds of stuff, like, from the 40s and 50s that would be worth thousands now. But we just did not want to have to climb through all this stuff that had been sitting there for probably 40 or 50 years.
That's why.
But most likely whoever bought the house didn't find it either, because they probably just tossed.
Well, here's the thing. That's why things are of value, right?
Yep.
Because so many families just threw it out.
Yeah. Brianna said we had tinfoil bows on the antenna. Yes, you had that tinfoil stretching across the room.
We didn't just have tinfoil. My mom was emptying out like the utility drawer and everything that had metal. I think she was attaching to it. She was starting to get.
We had wire. Mork and Mindy.
Nanu. She was starting to get like, broadcast places from other states. She had so much stuff. Like there was tongs and egg beaters and I don't know what.
Our thing was we had 5 channels, but you only ever got 3. So there were like in the evenings you could never get channel 2.
Yeah.
Like, so it was based on the weather. You never got all 5 channels, and we did not have cable. I brought cable to my parents' house when I was in college. Like, there was no cable coming into the house. We had to pay for it.
So here's the thing. You flip through the 5 channels, there's nothing to watch.
You turned off the television and went outside and played games.
Well, no, I mean...
That's what we did.
Well, you complain about it. You keep flipping. We have 3,000 channels now.
There's still nothing on.
Nothing on. Keep flipping.
Bionic Man, yes.
The $6 million
$6 million man.
Okay, so I weirdly...
And Bionic Woman.
I guess it must have been on sale or something. I did not have a Ken doll. I had the $6 million man's boss. That was my Ken doll.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember.
Mr. Osborne.
Well, I mean, his name was Ken at my house, and he had a plaid suit on, and he had blue...
TV Land, yes, Brenda. That's
underwear.
The TV network I was talking about.
He had blue underwear. Yes, TV
Airwolf. Oh, the original Battlestar Galactica, but I think that was in the 80s. And there was also, what was the other one that went along with that? Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Also Bears and Beats.
Okay, so as we're talking about this, so I'm sitting here, I was running new internet wire, because I don't know if you saw, I started routing it underneath the floor so that we don't have to have a cable running across the room. So that's what happens. Like, I start pulling down moldings when you go into another room. So Anthony has decided that Sarah has never seen an episode of Big Brother.
Oh, Lord.
Anthony and I, we didn't watch last season, but Dad has generally been our summer show since as long as he's been able to watch it. We have watched Big Brother together. It's just, I don't know why. It's a train wreck to watch, but you can't, it's like what we were talking about the other day, right?
Tiger King.
You can't not watch it.
But I have a problem watching something where I've watched it a couple seasons from beginning to end. And
well, there's always new challenges and new people.
Yeah, but like every person kind of falls into a certain category. It's like there's the villain, there's the person that's like the loose person.
And that's why I didn't watch last year. I wasn't interested. So anyway, Anthony is watching with Sarah, and they start trying to figure out, where did the term Big Brother come from?
They didn't
and
watch.
I'm like, you guys
read?
both graduated high school. Have you never heard of George Orwell's 1984? And you're like, what? I'm like, what are they making our kids read? Because that was like required reading when I was in school. Wasn't like that and Fahrenheit
Animal
451,
House.
right?
Yeah.
Those were required readings. They did not read. They'd never heard of 1984. And I'm like, here's the thing. 1984 was written, I think it was like 1949.
Which is like, that doesn't make any sense. Why
And
wasn't it
I
made in
remember
1984?
when 1984 came around, and you were like, is this the year?
You were suspicious of everyone.
Well, you really thought, at least I thought, like this, it was going to happen. I mean, now he was right. He was just off by a decade.
I thought that 2001 was going to involve a space odyssey, okay? Petticoat Junction.
Oh, yeah. Dukes of Hazzard. My sister and I used to ride around the block on, like, our bicycles, and one of us would be like Roscoe, and one of us would be like the General Lee, and we'd chase each other on our bicycles.
I only would want to be the General Lee. Why couldn't you both be in the General Lee? And Mom could be Boss Hogg.
Yeah, Patty Epps said $6 Million Man, not Bionic Man, but it was Bionic Woman, yes.
Oh, Ray says he's already got his afro.
Okay, Andy Griffith's show, Starsky and Hutch,
love
Simon
the
and
Andy
Simon.
Griffith show. That show made me want to learn how to whistle.
Hee haw, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Wow, these are just such great. Hey guys, they just opened a Chick-fil-A around the corner from my house. This is my favorite fast food place of all time. Lord help me now. It's expensive.
It is.
I love Chick-fil-A.
Me too.
Fortunately, we don't. I'm never gonna buy their grilled chicken because I feel like I don't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And what makes Chick-fil-A so good is the way that they fry their chicken.
It's
you
the
ever
chicken
go
sandwich.
watch like how they do it? It's what makes it. And so, because of the cost,
Yeah.
and the fact that I'm losing half the chicken, I won't buy it because they make good chicken, but it's so expensive.
I will say on a side note, I always had to buy at least 2 meals every single time we ever went there with the kids because it was like the nuggets were so small that even the boys when they were toddlers were like, is this it?
Julia said Southwest Indiana had NBC, CBS, ABC, and PBS. Gomer Pyle and the Beverly Hillbillies. Yes.
I love them. I still watch
My
all
favorite
that.
show to watch, though it wasn't from the 70s, but again, we had PBS, or late at night on the UHF channels, you can scan and find some like weird channels that would have a lot of old stuff.
Like Bed Bath and
And
Beyond.
even
like
even back then, I was a night owl. So I can remember being in high school and sneaking to watch television at like midnight. And so my favorite shows to watch, but they were only on in the middle of the night, were The Honeymooners.
I love The Honeymooners. To the Moon, Alice. He says that to me at least twice a day. Just kidding.
But I loved The Honeymooners, Perry Mason. Like, those were some of my favorite TV shows to watch.
Perry Mason was pretty good.
Quincy was a show my dad and I used to watch all the time, although I think that was from the 80s as well. Oh, The Odd Couple. Loved The Odd Couple. Chris said, I didn't like Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie. Both started with a cartoon and we got super excited. Then it turns out to be a stupid old people's show.
Right, I know. Yeah, exactly.
My husband is Jim Henson. I call him my Muppet Man.
Aw, how sweet.
Donnie and Marie.
Yes.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Now, here's the thing about Donnie and Marie. I understand that they only ever needed one take for anything.
I did not know that.
They were called the One Take Osmonds because they were just so, like, on, and they're very, like, dutiful.
Huh.
Yeah.
Valerie said, does anybody remember Multiplication Rock and Grammar Rock?
Yes, I do. Right here.
Dragnet. Just the Facts. Joe Friday.
Just the facts, ma'am.
The Flying Nun. Another great show. Love that show.
How cute. Yes, with Sally Field.
Yes. Joe said, when I started at Eastern Airlines in I remember Eastern Airlines. We used to fly that all the time because we came to Florida.
He actually worked
I worked
with
at Cubby from the Mickey Mouse Club.
How cool is that?
Was there a genuine Woody doll from Woody's Roundup with the pull cord and everything?
Wouldn't that be awesome if it was for real?
Right Family said, hubby said business in the front, party in the back about mullets.
Yes. Now, hey, I can't like poop on it too much. I definitely had a mullet. There was definitely a period of time where I was feathered in the front and it was long in the back. Yes.
Christopher said I had 3 channels in Kentucky in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it took a while. We didn't get cable in my house until I was in, like, finishing high school.
Gigi said there's nothing on 300 channels. There's absolutely nothing, which is why we now got rid of cable. And I still can't figure out what to watch.
We had to decide going in, and this is probably terrible.
Charlie's Angels in the 70s.
Hey, let's do it. Hey, turn this way. Let's turn this way.
Except for I'm not supposed to be an angel.
They're Charlie.
Chris said, so I know how to really get Joe and Rachel off on a tangent and completely go off the rails. Get them to talk about old crusty stuff.
Because we're kind of old crusty stuff.
Stacy said, Office reference, Rachel, Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Rhonda said, games 1, 2, 3, red light, hopscotch, and jacks. No boards.
The spinning wheel of death is spinning. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we should deliver our... Chris said the story's kind of bland. It's about a guy named Dumbledore Calrissian who needs to return the ring back. I cannot stand
all
that
the nerd stuff.
No.
He's talking about...
I know what he's talking about,
Lord
but I
Rings.
can't stand the Lord of the Rings. Can't stand it. It is the most boring... I liked the books when I was in high school. That to me is the most boring movie series ever, and I refuse to watch it. She's tried to have me watch it. I'm like, I'm not watching that.
Every once in a while I want to watch it. It does have a lot of walking. Strangely, just a lot of walking. There is so much walking. See if you can watch the Lord of the Rings movies and just edit out the walking, and it's a 30-minute movie.
He said 1984 was supposed to be a warning, not to how-to manual.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Not let's try it.
Christopher said, I refused to read Fahrenheit 451 because of the bad language in it. My teacher didn't make me read it.
That's good.
The Fall Guy.
Oh my gosh.
Moonlighting.
Yes.
That was your show.
Moonlighting was...
Silver Spoons from the 80s.
Oh, it's Beth. Hey, Beth.
Oh, okay. She's on Facebook.
She's actually in our preschool
One day
lesson.
at a time.
She's in our preschool
I know
lesson.
she is. I haven't edited that yet. I'm so far behind on that.
Chris
said, I'd rather have a Buffalo Wild Wings by my house right now. We're 5 miles from 2 locations, smack in the middle, first world problems.
Right? Hee-haw.
Okay. So should we...
We did watch Hee-haw a lot.
Valerie said there's a copycat keto recipe for Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets floating around on the internet. Pretty good.
We got to check that out.
Constance says, did anybody remember Are You Being Served?
Yes, I do. We saw that on PBS. That is a British show. And it's awesome.
The Outer Limits. Joe's friend said you were right. 1984 was a warning we did not heed apparently.
Sweet the limits. Oh, also they fry it in peanut oil. That probably absolutely contributes to it tasting awesome.
Somebody said Abbott and Costello. Yes.
Love them.
Loved all those. So it was interesting because Rachel, we just watched the Godzilla movies, and Rachel's never seen the Godzilla. I've never seen a
Godzilla movie.
And, I grew up again. That's what you got to watch midday on Saturday when I was a kid. That was what was on, like, one of the channels, like WPIX or something, were the old, like, horror/thriller movies, like the original Blob.
Swamp Thing.
The Swamp Thing, Godzilla, those kind of things. So I watched a lot of that kind of stuff.
I love the movie The Blob. I remember that.
The original one.
Yes. Just slow-moving stuff trying to overtake me. I feel like I'm sort of living it. It's like the emotional blob is what's like permeating the atmosphere, right? And you're like, don't get that on me. Like, I've got to conserve my good attitude. And it's like...
Shelley said, Monty Python, Are You Being Served? Keeping Up Appearances, loved all British television.
Monty Python has still made it difficult for me to bridge that relationship with rabbits. And... fortunately, my brother and Becky have some beautiful rabbits now, but I keep waiting any second for it to be like, it's got fangs like this.
Chris said, did Joe have a mullet? Is that why he's bald now? He used up all his hair credits on a mullet now. No, I never had a mullet.
I had all the mullets.
Mullets hit when I was in high school, and I went to a Catholic high school that did not allow you to have hair like that.
They would be like...
Like my senior year, they started being a little bit lax with people where you could have it down a little bit.
So rebel.
But you could not, you were never
good.
getting away with the mullet. Like Anthony, we were doing a game at a Catholic school down here, and Anthony's like, look at these kids all wearing ties. I'm like, when I was in high school, we had to wear a tie every day, and then from the end of September, beginning of October until May, we had to wear a sport coat or the school sweater. That's what we had to wear. Now, in the month of September, like the beginning of the month, we didn't have to wear it because it wasn't cold. And then the last month of the year, we didn't have to wear a sport coat. Well, we always had to wear a tie.
Well, here's the thing. I went to high school in the early 90s, so I was also wearing a sport coat and a tie, but it was totally unrelated.
But you were a dork.
But it was just, it rolled up sleeves, right? Like, I mean... it was all
okay. Good. Renee said we are getting Showtime for free. Still nothing good on there. Yeah, Showtime. Yeah. I play the game with Showtime. So if you want to know how to get Showtime a lot cheap.
Here we go.
So you can get Showtime from a lot of different places. Don't ever get it from the cable company because they charge you a fortune. But you can go get it off of Amazon for $10 a month. but they'll give you 30 days for free.
Okay.
So you sign up for the 30 days for free, and then you cancel it, and then you can go to showtime.com and sign up for a 30-day free trial. And then you can cancel. And there's about 3 or 4 different places that you can sign up for streaming Showtime for 30 days.
Yeah.
And you can just keep, like, doing that. And then every once in a while, like, every 2 months, you'll have to pay $10. But you're getting them cheap. And just watch the shows you want and then cancel it and go to a different network. We do that with, like, what's the one we just got? Stars. They offered us $30 for 6 months of Stars.
It's a vicious cycle.
You got to play the games. Dana said you ran out in KC today.
Oh, you ran out of keto chow today?
Oh, okay. Gigi Girl said, who came up with you guys' name 2krazyketos? It's perfect. I don't know where. We just came up with the name.
Because I was, like, looking for something that... Because how corny am I? Y'all know, like, I'm about the corniest person ever. So I was looking for something that was, like, also with a K. Because, like, keto. And, yeah. And crazy, I was like, what if we spelled crazy with a K? Would that be wild? Oh, my gosh. We're so out there. Yeah. So. And there's 2 of us.
So you were talking about the rabbits. Should we give our bad news? So we ordered chickens for May 11th. And then later on in the evening, we were relaxing. And Rachel said something. I said, oh, let me look. And I go to look, and I'm like, my credit card never got charged for the chickens.
And I'm like, wait,
so
what?
I go to My Pet Chicken's website, and I'm pulling up, and I'm like, I don't see any previous orders on here. So I call them. I'm like, I know I had a confirmation page. Because when we got the confirmation, we're like, we just did it. We bought chickens.
I know. We were, like, hugging and super excited.
So I called them the next morning.
I'm going to get this while you're telling them this.
Where are you going?
I got to tell them how excited we are.
Oh. So we call them the next morning, and they're like, unfortunately, as you were hitting submit, we sold out. So... And
I'm like, but I got this to warm my chickens with. What am I going to warm?
So we do have chickens coming now, but now it's not till June. Like the middle of June from Murray McMurray Hatchery. But they're the ones we want. But we did find a lady here in Florida who... She's just a little tiny breeder. She's not a big breeder. I mean, you have to go pick them up.
Well, I think she's of normal stature. You mean she has a small farm?
She has a small farm. She only has like 6 breeds, but 2 of the breeds that we want. So she's like, what I have to do is call her on next Wednesday and tell her, like, and she's like, she just bought a new incubator because she's got 10 times more orders for chicken this year than ever before.
She's like,
so
is
she
the whole world trying to go self-sustainable?
That's pretty much what she said. So she's like, call me next Wednesday. I will get the chickens that you want. I will put them in the incubator so long as she actually laid them and we have enough, and you'll be able to get them on May 18th. But we have a backup. So our backup is the end of June, but My Pet Chicken gave us away. We might be able to get them for May 17th, and this lady has given us away. We might be able to get them for May 18th. But Murray McMurray said that we can cancel up until 2 weeks before they're going to ship them to us, so we kind of have a backup, but still hoping to get them like on May 18th.
It's been a rough day.
But Rachel was crying
It was
a lot.
It was a rough week, okay? So number 1...
If you saw today's vlog...
My chickens are in limbo. Number 2, Caleb is like, I'm going to Publix, guys. I'll see you in a minute, and then pulls off the entire back of his car.
If you didn't see that, we put the vlog up today that, yes... Caleb ripped the whole bumper off of his car on a fire hydrant that is 2 inches from the house. And I tell them every time they get in the car, don't forget about the fire hydrant. That's why there's a big pillar there to tell you there's a fire hydrant there, because you can't see it in your side view mirror. But here's the problem. When we all learned how to drive, there was no such thing as a rear backup camera.
Right.
So you backed up your car. You learned to back up by putting your hand over the side, the other
turning
your head and looking, and then using your side view mirrors. The kids today that are learned how to drive by looking at that rear view camera, and they don't bother looking at their mirrors. Like, I had to get on Anthony when he went to take his road test. I'm like, they're going to make you back up. And he's backing up looking in the mirror. I'm like, put your head facing over your shoulder and look backwards.
Well, I don't think he'll make that mistake again. I really don't.
He just decided that I'm never parking in the driveway again.
And then I come back and I'm like, my ring feels funny. Like
I forgot about that.
my wedding rings. I look down, and when we got married, y'all know that I was very heavy when we got married. And so when I lost my weight, part of our like anniversary present was he got my rings resized. Well,
and new wedding ring.
The point at where they like fixed it broke. So now I have no wedding rings because my wedding rings broke. So Lord only knows what all rings y'all are going to see in different videos. But
and 2 of the diamonds fell out on the actual wedding rings themselves, which is very upsetting.
But there's no way. That is not an essential business. So it's going to be a while before I get that fixed.
He said Lord of the Rings was dumb. They had a wizard in their group, yet they walked everywhere. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Why? And a giant wizard at that.
Crazy, sexy, cool Misha said, I don't like Lord of the Rings either. I only watch the second ones for the love story.
Okay, so yeah, because like Liv Tyler like made that for me.
Yeah.
Elf love.
I
elfin love that movie.
Shelley loves sci-fi and fantasy movies. Oh, Fantasy Island. There was another one that I loved. That was from the 80s, I think.
I feel like I'm living Fantasy Island because now when I see a plane in the sky, I feel the need to point it out like it's a new thing. Look, the plane, guys. The plane.
Chris said to Heath, did you watch the How It Should Have Ended? They just get on the Eagles at the end in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, serious. That's the way it should have been.
Deb said, hi, 2KK family. Rachel, your top is so pretty, and your headband, too.
Oh, thank you.
Makes me think of summer. It's still too cool here in North Carolina. I'm ready to be outside in the warm. You can have our heat. It was 100 degrees again today. My electric bill is like $400, and it's April.
Here's the thing, though. It's maybe because you like lived in New York and you grew up in that atmosphere. For me, winters were very cold, and for other people, sometimes it's very exacerbated.
It's cold for me now. If it's 60,
no,
I'm freezing.
There's something emotionally that it does to me being like trapped inside with the snow outside. Like it was very, very hard for me sometimes to get through like all the way to May or June in Virginia just because of that.
Donna said, we live in Mount Airy. The town Mayberry was based on in Andy Griffith's hometown.
I always wanted to live in Mayberry.
Cool. Joe said, never could get into any of the Tolkien books or the movies, but I love D&D. Hated the Dune books and the movie.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Dune. And Melissa says that she's waiting for the King Kong versus Godzilla movie. We were watching it, but it was like a fan video. I don't think it was a real authentic trailer. No. But they're teasing like it's coming out this year.
Sherry said we used to have a Saturday night creature feature.
The creature feature.
The killer tomatoes and the killer bees and the killer... Yes.
Well, you know what was 80s was the Crypt Keeper guy. Tales from the Dark Side. Oh, that was like the scariest show
Renee
ever.
said, Mom made us watch Bonzo, the Chicago Network. I hated clowns.
My brother could not stand clowns, and my mom decorated his entire bedroom in clowns.
He said the best 80s movie was The Stuff.
Okay, we might definitely have to have a debate next week about 80s movies because I love 80s movies.
Loved 80s movies.
It's like where the
and they all had. You always had to have the 80s cleanup montage.
Yes.
Right? You always had to have the 80s cleanup montage.
Actually, Caleb the other day, because I was like,
Gail wants you to stand up so she can see the whole outfit.
Caleb said, I said, we got to clean the house up, guys. Like, let's pick up. And he was like, why don't we just have the 80s montage? Like, play a song. And when it's over, we'll be done. And we won't even have to do anything. So here's my...
It's a dress.
Oh, I should be able to just, like, stand on this. See? It's, like, very flouncy. Now, it ties in the back. I'm not usually, like, a big fan of, like, tie in the back. But it is what it is.
Michelle is obsessed with Are You Being Served?
Yes.
Sherry said Faulty Towers in the SNL the Belushi years. Yeah, John Belushi.
That is
was
back
amazing.
when Saturday Night Live was awesome. Like the
Mr. Bill.
Oh no! It was like the Bassomatic 76 where they would be like, that's keto. Absolutely. Where Dan Aykroyd would just take an entire bass and throw it down into a blender. Remember that?
Yep. Christopher said, I've made a lot of desserts since starting keto. I think this may be my favorite. Just tried it a couple hours ago. So I was digging through the refrigerator looking for that peanut butter stuff that Christopher sent us, and I found it. I need to go hide it again. It's lasted this long because I think we've literally taken 2 spoons out of it because it's so good. I want to eat the entire
bacon
thing.
One.
I don't even want to know what's in that because
it's too good.
It's too good. But it is really good. Becky said they are not rabbits, Ray. They are wabbits like Elmer Fudd. He said you can't do that on television.
That was a good show.
That was another good one.
You know what I used to like? What was it? Ripley's Believe It or Not. That was another one that was good. That might have been 80s.
Becky said we get HBO free from AT&T.
Nice.
We get Hulu free from Sprint.
Hula Hoop.
He said $150 for a 2-year subscription to a VPN so I can download everything.
That's kind of awesome.
Renee said Showtime doesn't seem to have anything even worth a free trial. I wait until it's a show that I want to watch. Like when they had Orange is the New Black or not that show, but it was another show I forgot that I used to watch.
Did you ever have that experience like your cable, like you would lose that channel because like, oh, well, you only had it for a season and then, we decided to cut the cord or something, and they would like tease next month on Showtime or whatever, and it'd be like this laundry list of things. It would be like, if that had been on last month, I would have kept my service.
Well, it's like HBO. You would do it like that's what everybody did, right? Nobody would have HBO, and then Game of Thrones would come back on for the season. Everybody would go get the free trial of HBO. But that's what happened. Is Anthony comes to me, he goes, because we have Apple TV, the boxes, and a lot of the things like NBC and CBS and NBC and ABC and Fox, you can get their channel for free, like their TV shows through Apple TV, just through the internet.
Out the middle.
You have to watch all the commercials and stuff like that.
What's a commercial?
CBS is the only network that charges you. You cannot go watch CBS for free.
They think a lot of themselves.
And so Anthony was like trying to watch Big Brother, and he's like, I have to pay for CBS. And he was like, when did you cancel cable? I'm like 3 weeks ago. He was like,
why did you all of a sudden decide to watch Big Brother from like 2 years ago?
Rhonda said, I don't pay for cable either. I do that all the time, Joe. HBO too. Yeah, you just play the game. As soon as you cancel, they'll offer you a free subscription to keep it.
Oh, there you go. Chris says he laughed about the stature thing.
April said, at worship practice, sorry I'm late.
Hey, welcome.
Chris said, honestly, don't cancel, just sell the chicks. Heather said, and I text you congratulations on your chickens today. Oops, that's okay. We're still getting them.
We're going to get them, and that's the reason why I didn't text back, because I was like, what do I say? Like, do I say we're still getting them? And then I thought, I'm going to wound up doing this whole thing. Oh, my goodness, Heather, I got to show you the picture. Heather, they cleaned out the car and stuff. Oh, my goodness, it's beautiful. It's like a totally different
Steph said the chickens that you want would be a perfect substitution for a turkey on the holidays because they're so huge.
They're not getting eaten, though. We're not eating those. Those are babies.
So McMurray said to us, like, hey, we're going to give you a free chicken. And Rachel's like, do not take the free chicken.
He could hear me yelling from the other room. He goes,
I'm like,
there's a free
I am
chicken.
taking the free chicken. She's like, do not take the free chicken. It's always a rooster. I'm like, that's fine. At 6 weeks old, I will just butcher it.
Where will we be at 6 weeks, guys?
Evidently,
6 weeks of having these chickens, it'll be their pets as well as our pets.
Evidently, there is an anti-crow collar that you can put onto a rooster to stop them from making noise when they crow. How good could that be for a chicken?
That's gotta hurt.
Miriam, yes, backup cameras. She said, my kids don't get it. Becky said he needs Beanie Baby. Gigi Girl said, I saw that vlog. Good repair work, Joe. Thank you. Chris said, backup cameras do greatly reduce the likelihood of running over a small child. I look at it and over my shoulder. Oh, I completely...
Because you're doing both.
I don't think there's anything wrong with backup cameras. I think you need to not rely on the backup camera as your only form of backing up. We actually have a friend of ours that did back over a little girl and killed her in his own driveway. It was not even his kid. It was the neighbor's kid who was playing with his son, and he ran over.
Devastating.
And he still has not recovered. That was like 10 years ago.
You would never.
And so I think that backup cameras are awesome. I think it's incredible that they're now mandatory on all new cars. I just think that kids need to learn to drive with more than they can't just rely on that backup camera. It's like the Teslas. Like, too many people are getting in a Tesla and relying, you know what? I don't need to drive. Let it do me for me. Like, and then you have to hear things where a white truck ran in front of a Tesla and it didn't know that it was a white truck and it crashed into it.
Great day. Okay, so I'm going to say something a little bit light in area
Oh, wait a
about
second.
backups.
Sherry said, did anybody see Christy Davis's video testing blood sugar on the Smart Sweets? Yes, I was actually messaging with her.
God bless you,
because a
Christy
couple of
Davis.
years ago, I knew that was going to happen. I didn't think it would be that bad.
I didn't either.
A couple of years ago, I used to get Smart Sweets. They weren't really in stores. They were just starting to hit stores, but we would get them in our boxes, and we loved them.
Who wouldn't?
And then they... Watch Autumn Keto had done a blood sugar test, and I think her blood sugar only went up like 20 or 30 points.
But it was enough that we're like, okay, not worth it.
Yeah, we were like, it's not worth it. Then what ended up happening was in the last few months, they've announced, like, we've reformulated. I messaged Christy. They should have stuck with the old formula.
It was less.
Yeah, because now it's straight sugar. It's what it is. It's IMO fiber. That's what their soluble fiber is. It's IMO fiber.
So the best thing we can do is carry that over into other products that we see with IMO fiber. No matter how delicious they may taste, you have to think it's doing something to us.
And everybody is different. So, like, I actually have to go get new test strips because I'm out of test strips for glucose. And my monitor ran. I have to go. I'm actually changing to a different monitor. I'm going to try the Dexcom G6. But... we're going to do one on Chalk Zero, but one thing I know about Chalk Zero, and I've seen this like on a lot of different channels, and I know that even Carrie was talking about it, that Chalk Zero, some people it affects, and some people don't. It doesn't.
Sweet
so
Lord,
you really need to test yourself. I'm talking about like the syrups and stuff.
Right.
So it's really Carrie Brown did a review on the chocolate syrup.
They're very delicious.
And she said you just have to test yourself because everybody reacts differently to the soluble corn fiber and stuff.
Yeah.
So I may test where my blood sugar has no impact at all. And then you guys may test and it skyrockets. And I'm seeing that a lot of people like commenting like it sent my blood sugar through the roof, and then other people saying it didn't affect me at all. So it's just one of those things you have to check yourself.
So this is what's most likely going to happen is it won't affect him at all, and it'll send me through the roof.
Christopher said, we tested my wife's after Smart Sweets long ago, so I think I know the results. Yeah, her glucose went from a 62 to... I don't remember the exact number, but it was well over 250, which was insane. Like, that's worse than sugar. And so she tested it again just to make sure. Because when I first saw that, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way she ate 9 Smart Sweets. There's no way. So she tested it again. And then after an hour, it was still like 170.
She is the prettiest woman, too. So when there's like a little frown on that face, I'm like, I want to be like, who put the frown on that face?
Judith wants to know what ring size you wear.
I don't know.
I have no... I know mine from ordering my Oura ring. I'm an 11.5.
I went with him to get it size, and the guy just put a circle on me.
Miriam said, yeah, backup cameras are the best, but kids are not learning to turn around and still miss a lot. Yes.
Okay, so, what I was going to say, that's kind of light an area about a backup camera, but this is a thing, okay? So before backup cameras in my cars, when I had vehicles that did not have a backup camera, never backed into a parking space. Ever. Not ever.
She still can't back up.
That was something for muscle dudes and police officers. I always front parked. Now, I feel like I got this. I'm backing into all the parking spaces like all the cool kids do.
Chris said, Miriam lost her diamond a few months ago. The place they bought it from originally let us buy a new diamond and apply. We paid the original diamond towards a new one.
What a nice thing to do.
Heather said Dr. Berry tested Nisha on Smart Sweets a while ago. They are bad. I did not know that. I never saw that.
That is heartbreaking.
It really is, because not just for us on keto. It's not just for us on keto.
You know, it's people who don't want sugar.
I think about people who are true diabetics who are not keto. And what this does to them when, it's the same thing when you're going and buying, some of the different sugar-free syrups in just Publix and stuff. And they're using maltitol and using stuff that skyrockets your blood sugar, but they're saying sugar-free. So diabetics who are not keto are going and buying and thinking, hey, I'm okay. And then wanting to know, why do I have to medicate even more? Because they're using sweeteners that are worse than sugar. You might as well just eat regular sugar.
Well, and here's the thing. All the times when like my mom would have kind of like an episode or something that would happen, it was so scary being there with her. But you know what was more scary? Thinking about her having an episode, living alone by herself, and something happen and me not be there. And I have a good friend of mine, her husband is a type 1 diabetic, and his glucose monitor is actually connected to like her phone and another device in her purse, because
she's got the Dexcom. That's why I want to try the Dexcom
so
and
that
try it.
She could be anywhere. Like she could be at the grocery store, and if he has a problem, it notifies her. It starts going off like a siren in her purse to let her know that she needs to get to him very quickly, because once it happens, he may not have the presence of mind to be able to take care of himself. So we need to take this seriously, and I get very upset with companies that's kind of, they know who they're marketing to.
You have to know your ingredients, but even there, you have to know your body with different ingredients, because everybody's body's different. Especially when they start, that's why we talk about, like, when I get into bars, I don't like products that play the fiber game. When I look at a bar and it's got 17 grams of carbohydrates and 15 of them are fiber, like something is up there. I'd rather have more sugar alcohols and like almost no fiber. It's just sugar alcohols are usually going to give me the runs, but aren't going to usually skyrocket my blood sugar.
You're poop-tastic.
Fibers, like Dr. Barry said on our interview, he said no matter what anybody thinks, fibers are going to account in your body. He's like, it may not be 4 grams net per, but it's at least 2 grams per. Your body is digesting them somewhere. So it's something to be aware of.
Lucy says, hi, y'all. I'm tardy. No, you're not, Lucy. You're right on time.
Chastity said, my engagement ring broke 2 weeks ago. My stone fell out completely. The whole family had to go on the hunt. Getting it repaired isn't essential.
Oh, man. It makes you sad, though, right? Like, you're just like,
Yeah, Sherry said, I couldn't believe the spike. Her reaction was priceless. The reaction was like, I thought she was going to just literally, I would not be surprised if they've already gotten an angry phone call, and I don't think that woman has an angry bone in her body.
So cute.
Lori said, I've lost so much weight that my rings don't fit anymore. They just slide off my finger, so I'm waiting till I get my goal weight before we buy new ones. So that's kind of what we did with Rachel, but I think he took too much gold, so now it's like paper.
But what happened was, while we were waiting, I didn't want to lose it, so I just would wear it on my middle finger, and I felt terrible because I thought, this looks like it's a social statement towards marriage, but like it's not. It's not like I'm giving the middle finger to my ring.
Yep.
But
Lori said, hungry. He said, at least when it's cold, you can build a fire to warm up. When it's hot, you can never take off enough. Yes.
Well, there's been plenty of grocery stores that have said, please, Miss Rachel, please put your clothes back on. You can't do that here.
Constance said, 80 Keto said there are things you can buy on Amazon to adjust, but I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, for rings.
Oh.
Yeah, you can get like ring spacers and stuff that can kind of go on there. Deb said, Rachel, I'm originally from Clarksville, Virginia. Where did you live? My parents still live in Virginia.
I lived in Washington, D.C. when I was working for the Washington Post, and then I moved outside into Northern Virginia. I lived in Sterling, Virginia, Leesburg, Virginia, and Kayla was actually born in Loudoun County, Virginia.
Paul said, Vampira, Mistress of the Dark. Yes.
I bit my nails right down to the quick. Remember that? And she would be like, just like nubs.
Christopher said, I think the weirdest part about weight loss I've had isn't all the size of clothes I've dropped or the inches everywhere. It's how much tighter I've had to put on my Apple Watch. Yes! It's so funny. So my Apple Watch, it used to get one notch past when it took almost every single notch. And now it's 4.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'll put it on every day, and if I have to do it at 3 or 2, and I'm like, ooh, I've got some water weights, I'm holding on some water because I can't tighten it as much as I used to.
Well, I've been like, yes, and then I think to myself,
you've got a Velcro one though.
But I'm like, even when I use the pink one that's got a thing on it, I'm like, why is it coming off here? Why can't it come off someplace useful?
Joe's friend said, I love the dress, Rachel. So my style. Even the colors were a little bright.
Thank you.
Andrew said Twilight Zone.
Oh, Stephanie said, for the 80s, I see Rachel being a Footloose and 16 Candles. Yes, 16 Candles. I love Footloose. Yes.
Chris said, I'm always
That's
surprised
pretty
by
much how I
terrible
dance.
camera work in old movies. It's like the camera operators were sleeping or something. Shaky cam, hard zooms, bad focus.
Blair Witch Project.
Ugh.
The Love Boat.
Christopher said, I sent you all the full ingredients and nutritional information on the bacon jam and the peanut butter stuff. I know you did. I lost the paper. Probably a good thing. I'm sure it's not bad. I mean, you've had amazing results, but I will want to make that for myself, and I can't be trusted with that stuff. It was really good.
You need to like can that stuff.
It was really good.
And sell it.
Renee said, hey, Miriam, doing well. 2 more patients on my caseload that are recovering from COVID, yet our country still says only 2 confirmed cases. Our county says only 2 confirmed cases. Don't know where they get their numbers. Shanda said, okay, I got a call. Who gets mad when someone interrupt my live with y'all?
Aw, how sweet.
Let's see.
Asking about the doggies.
Heather said we have a free year of Apple TV. Yeah, we have a free year of that too from when I bought my computer. There's a couple of good shows. We haven't watched any of them,
We need to, though, because they put a lot of money into those shows.
A lot of money. They have, like, big names and stuff.
Like, I want to see the one with Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah. Miriam said, what the heck? Why are they calling you and they don't know you're hanging out with Joe and Rachel?
Yes, we have Steph talking about a Roku.
Yep.
That's
what we got for your mom.
Yes, we did. And that is where we began watching my beloved Korean dramas, was through Roku.
Yep.
And there is one right now that just started with my very favorite
Lee Min-ho.
Korean actor of all times is now on Netflix. What is the name of it? Because I'm afraid to even watch it because it is.
I started watching it though.
I know you did. I was thinking to
I
myself.
forgot the name of it.
That I better.
I forgot the name of it.
Is it something about the king?
It's the king something.
It's on Netflix.
There's only 2 episodes, so that's the problem.
But that's what drives me crazy is they're starting to release shows where it's like only 2 episodes at the time. The greatest thing about Netflix was they would upload an entire season at once, right? Of the shows, right? And now it's like 2 episodes and you gotta wait every week for the new episode, and I'm like, oh.
Chris said the last time we had cable was just after Miriam had the first set of twins. She was binging HGTV.
Okay, so yes, HGTV. Didn't HGTV have like a baby story and a wedding story? Those were my favorite shows. I loved a baby story and a wedding story.
Patty said some of the CBS shows you can watch on the internet. They have subscription shows too that aren't on regular television. Miriam said, if we had HGTV, I would still watch it, but I really would save us money not having to watch it. I get the itch to change house things with that channel.
Yes, me too. And I get a false sense of ability is what I get. I'm like, we could totally crackle our wall. Let's go do it, Joe. And he'd be like, we can't do that. It's not going to work here. It's kind of like when you go into the hairdresser and you're like, hey, I'd like you to make me, look like Jennifer Aniston. And they're like, you don't have the same head as her or the same type of hair or anything. Like, it's not going to translate onto you. And it's the same thing.
Chris said I still need to watch
HGTV.
the last 2 episodes of Picard. Discovery ended fantastic. I never got into any of the Star Trek movies or any. I liked the original Star Trek, but I never got into like all of the Next Generations or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I was always a Star Wars person back when it was like Star Wars versus Star Trek. Now, I did like the Star Trek movies. Like,
the original ones.
Like Wrath of Khan.
Yes.
Those kind of ones. I did see some with Picard.
Steph said, my poor mama can't back up with her backup camera by turning, or even when someone else is outside her car directing her, she backs up. You never know where she'll end up.
There was an old lady that I used to go to church with, and she drove one of those, like, Cadillacs that were gigantic. No, it wasn't a Cadillac. It was a Lincoln. Remember the giant Lincolns? Mm-hmm. And I think that her children just insisted upon her having this giant tank of a car. But, yeah, I mean, she would get ready to, like, pull out of a space, and I think she would just put her forehead in the steering wheel and be like, good luck, everybody else.
Palmy said, just want to say hello, guys, and I love your videos. Today I'm calling my relatives in Mexico for the last 2 hours, but I'll watch this later. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Chris said, I'm the alarm for the kids. I broadcast to Google Home speakers and turn on the synchronized music in every room. And then I yell at everyone to get up for scriptures.
That's sweet.
We had bought a couple of things and got some free Amazon Alexas. So I put one in Anthony's room and one in Caleb's room. And then we figured out how you can drop in. Like,
Hello.
you just go, Alexa, drop in on Anthony. And
Hello,
then
neighbor.
Caleb quickly, Anthony's got like lights hooked up to his Alexa, so he keeps it. Caleb quickly took that thing and got it out of his room. And he's like, I do not want this thing in my room. I don't need Alexa. I don't want to hear music. And I certainly don't want you guys from your bedroom dropping in on me to tell me to do a chore.
What you doing? What's going on in there? Hello? Mommy loves you. Do you know Mommy loves you?
Christopher said, Joe, the peanut butter I sent you has 1 tablespoon, has 42 calories, 4 fat, 98 protein, 1.67 carbs. Ooh. Now I'm going to go finish it.
It's so good.
Cheesy Girl said, that's fine. The chicken plot continues. More vlogs for chickens.
I'm so sad. I did get like a brooder box today. A giant one.
I said to her, it's got to be little. No, they need room. I'm
They need
like,
room
chickens
for
need...
activities.
No.
We don't want them turning their beds into bunk beds like stepbrothers to make more room for activities. Gotta make it safe in there.
Renee said, I'm interested to see what the ice cream Chrissy's been eating does the Real Good with actual sugar. I was thinking about Real Good, but I know they've got an ice cream, and I know I can get it locally.
We've tried
if
it
there's
all.
any company that will never ever work with us, that's the one. Because like we're brutally honest, and
We've tried. We like their breakfast sandwiches.
They're just really expensive for
But
what
they
are.
were okay.
But the pizzas are horrible.
Yeah.
And they're high in carbs. I don't understand. I know a lot of people like them, but when you look at like a third of the pizza is like 5 carbs. Who's eating a third of a Real Good pizza?
I'm not eating a third of anything, as we well know. I do think that we need to do a video of like the easy making pizza on the Blackstone, because that's just as fast.
Blackstone. I got a new Blackstone. So I sold my old Blackstone, which wasn't even that old. I got it on Christmas from Becky. Becky gave it to me for Christmas.
Vigorously cleaning that. I was like, what's going on right now? And he's like, nothing, what? And I'm like, feels like you're really cleaning this hard. Are you selling this? Or the bigger question is, are we getting something bigger? And he's like, maybe. Maybe.
So I sold our Blackstone. I sold it on OfferUp. I love OfferUp. If you ever want to sell something, OfferUp is the deal.
However, you need to meet up with the person in like the driveway of the police station.
Usually what we do is I go to Publix and I meet in the lobby in Publix.
The masked person in Publix?
Well, just like a simple... Or I go to... We have a Walmart near us that has a police substation.
Yes.
I go there, and I meet them in Subway, which is right at the police substation.
Well, now you don't.
Or Coconut Creek, where we live, actually allowed... The police department has a whole room that you can go meet people there for. So check with your local police department, because a lot of local police departments do have like meeting rooms for like online sales. I did have this guy come to our house, but we were selling a giant grill.
It was outside.
And we were outside. But yeah, I sold it for almost as much as what you buy a brand new one for. So I was happy about that. And then I got the new one because it was on sale at BJ's. But it came with like that's the old one stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it came with the rack. But what I really wanted is the one that we had a grease channel in the front. It was their original design, and I was getting grease everywhere because I literally do cook on that every day. We don't cook in the house hardly ever anymore. Anthony even figured out that he could take the cast iron and put it on there if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So the new one has the grease trap in the back, so you can just kind of push everything to the back.
Okay.
Which was really good because today I made 2 pounds of bacon, like I pre-cooked bacon with a fresh grease tin in the back, and then saved all the bacon grease and refilled my mason jar of bacon grease. So, but yeah,
it's already
Rachel's like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, I sold it. Now I can get a new one. But I love OfferUp. OfferUp is a great way to sell stuff.
It really is.
And there's no like fees like with eBay. Chris said, I had no idea how much I would enjoy chickens. Just watching them is funny.
It is funny. They're funny, especially my ones that we're getting with pants. And I did watch Chickens with Pants that Chris suggested, and it was awesome, and it made my day.
Christopher said, I think that sugar is allulose. We were thinking about doing like a ice cream like showdown, like of all of the different ice creams.
I'm game.
Lucy said, does she mean that she's a heavy sleeper? Rhonda said, lots of folks couldn't parallel park before backup cameras, and they still can't parallel park with backup cameras.
Okay, so...
I grew up in New York. We had to parallel
park.
I
don't know if I shared this, but the worst parking job that I've seen is when I was going through the Rand Eye Institute, taking Mom to get her cataract surgery on both of her eyes. Because everybody there in the parking lot, they've come to this facility because they can't see. So like the parking lot was like, I mean, people were parked like crazy. And so I said something to the doctors, like, it's a madhouse back there. And they're like, yeah, we had to actually create a new parking lot that is only for the doctors because they were ramming into all of our cars every single day.
Renee said, I'm a weirdo. I don't love ice cream or sweets much for that matter. I'd rather have meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese. I love meat and cheese too.
Sherry said she stinks at backing up. Heather had to back into parking spaces at high school.
See, we didn't. I got out of all that.
Rachel can barely back up. She'll come and say, like, I can't back up. I'm like, just back up. Because now we have 4 cars in the driveway, but now we only have 3 because Caleb won't park in the driveway anymore. So I'm like, just snake your way out. Because if there's somebody behind me, I will, like, kind of snake in so that I don't have to move the car behind me. She's like, I am not doing it. And if I do it in front of her, in her car, she's having panic attacks the entire time.
I can barely go forward.
September said, dang, and I really was hoping the reformulation for Smart Sweets would be better.
I know, me too.
Lucy said, I'm with Rachel. I can't back into parking spots without a camera or strangers to guide me. Or kind strangers to guide me. Nori said, how long after eating the syrup do you test? So when we do a blood glucose test or any kind of glucose test, I eat it, and then we'll test 30 minutes later, an hour later, and then 2 hours later if there was a spike. So the biggest spike should come around the 1 hour mark. So you'll start seeing it go up at the 30-minute mark. Your biggest spike should be at the 1 hour mark if you're going to have a spike. And then it should be on its way back down and almost back to normal at the 2 hour mark. That's what you're looking for. So the one thing I always tell people when you look at these glucose tests that people do, if you see a 10-point jump, that's nothing. That's within the margin of error of the machine. What you really want to see, what you really don't want to see, is someone have a glucose level of 80 and it spikes to 130. That would be a bad thing. But if they're at 80 and it spikes to 85 or 90, that's not a spike. That's like, I would not worry. I would continue eating that thing on a regular basis because that's nothing. It's the big jumps. Anything. I think even Keto Coach puts on the thing, you don't want to see more than a 30-point spike. 30-point spike is going to be outside of the margin of error.
So I'm looking at Renee's. Girl, you look good. Back that up. I'm like trying not to laugh.
Elijah said, good night, Aunt Rachel and Uncle Joe.
Good night, Elijah. Sleep tight.
Where are we at? Oh,
why
we're
do
not
people
so
say don't let the bed bugs bite? That always.
Andrew said, after watching you interview with Dr. Barry, my doctor prescribed the CGM. Awesome. You're going to love it. Just the information that you get is really incredible.
Very interesting.
I went today to CVS to pick up the Dexcom. They had to order it for me, and then they told me they were charging like a ridiculous amount of money compared to Costco. So I was like, give me my prescription back. I'm going to go to Costco tomorrow. Who still has to order it?
Costco.
But the guy was like, are you just like self-testing for the heck of it? And I'm like, yes. And so we had a little bit of a conversation. I'm like, you actually want to talk to me? Like, we're in a pharmacy. Like, isn't this supposed to be like nobody talks to each other?
Oh, so Shanta's saying, like, because they're talking about the Smart Sweets, it says, I did not know that I am... that I am pre-diabetic and eat them, and I have some now. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like
you don't know because they're marketing them to diabetics and people are trying to
reduce their sugar.
It's bad. Dr. Barry interview. So we came up with a name for our new video podcast series.
Keto and Friends.
Keto and Friends.
Because it's keto stuff we're talking about, and they're our friends.
Yeah. So. Probably going to be like bi-weekly, sometimes every week, depending on like when we can get guests on and when we can get the videos edited and stuff like that. This week we'll reveal to them. This week we had Goody Beats, and that'll be out either tomorrow or Saturday. But it was really cool. We love talking to him. I love Logan. He's the most positive guy I've ever met.
We need this. We need more positivity.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a great, great time talking to him.
I think you guys will enjoy it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Shanta said, I did not know I'm... Oh, we've read that one already. Sherry said, Shanta, watch Chrissy Davis' video on them. Yeah.
Always, Judith 1 says, I ask because I'm always changing my wedding band, inexpensive though, QVC, eBay, and could have sent you one if they were all the same size. Oh, you were so sweet. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, you know, I'm a big aficionado of junk jewelry. Like, I love just like the cheapy stuff. So I do have some, you know, rings or whatever. I'll just so people will make sure that there is no problem. Sometimes, like, if I take it off because I do dishes or something and then we do a video and I forget to put it on, we'll get letters like, are you guys breaking up? And
Heather
like,
sent
no.
us the video of Dr. Berry with Smart Sweets.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Christopher said, does that make them dumb sweets or stupid sweets?
It does.
Listen, I think the
Makes them
blood
poopy
glucose is
sweets.
different for everyone. I can eat more carbs and my blood glucose is around 80. If I get below 75, I feel weird and don't feel optimal.
Yeah.
Everybody is
Very
different.
different.
It's finding where is your normal glucose level. What is your... My resting glucose level is usually like somewhere around 85 to 93. That's... Rachel is usually in the 70s. So everybody is different.
I'm easy and breezy, obviously, in the 70s. I'm in the 70s. Get it? I'm in the 70s.
Shelly said that's why
Like
I follow
right now.
Dr. Shelly said that's why I follow Dr. Berry's Whole Foods. I just don't trust processed foods, even keto ones.
You never
and that's something
go
we
wrong
talked about.
with that.
Yep. Chris said it's like smart pellets that you find in the forest. You eat them and it makes you smart. You never eat them again equals smart.
There you go.
Steph said, so true, y'all. Dietitian and endocrinologist told me I could have sugar-free creamer. Then I found out about maltodextrin, which is in it, and it would spike me terribly. So dietitian is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good... And here's the thing. We have to test ourselves to know our body. Sometimes I don't want that information. I don't want to test myself because I don't want to get the no. Because I'm an addict when it comes to food, and I want all the food, and I don't want to be told I can't have that. But it's only going to hurt me if I don't get that information. So it behooves me to go ahead and test myself and see, are we the same? Am I different? There's probably going to be things that he can have that I can't have, and hopefully vice versa. Probably mine will be like, you can have all the sardines in a can you want, Rachel. Joe can't have those, you know. That'll be my luck. But it's a good thing to get information and just hold yourself accountable.
Rhonda said, watch the video today. I picked up Smart Sweets every time I go to GNC. Knew there was a reason why I put them back every time. Now I know.
So frustrating.
Lucy said, has anyone tried NutriSense for a CGM? I'm on the fence about going through them or asking a doctor. Never tried NutriSense. I don't know what CGM you'd be looking at. The only two CGMs that I know of, I know when I met with Dr. Cywis, he recommended two.
I'm out of liquid.
So he said the best one that you can possibly get is the Dexcom G6. The next one, which is what most people get, is the Freestyle Libre. The Freestyle Libre generally is going to cost you about $70. I think the full price is $75 for 14 days. But you can call them up. You can get a coupon. You can get it cut down to about $70 for 28 days. Or if your insurance doesn't cover it. The Dexcoms can get way up there. If you don't have insurance and don't have any kind of a coupon, it's about $450 for the sensors.
Can you run it through GoodRx?
Yes, but through GoodRx, it was $350 for the sensor.
Okay.
For 30 days, and then you also need a transmitter that goes with it. The transmitter through GoodRx is like another $250. So you're talking about $600 versus $140. The Dexcom though has a lot more bells and whistles. It's continually like you can pick up your phone and monitor, whereas with the Freestyle you actually have to touch it up. The Dexcom can give you early warning. Dexcom is much more for someone who is truly a diabetic and needs to know like at any moment if they're going to have a spike.
I'm still recovering from that price.
The Dexcom is very, very expensive.
So what will you be cleaning tonight to sell to get your Dexcom?
I've got stuff through my insurance.
Okay, good.
But we did meet a lady when we were in Universal who works for a lab, and she had the Dexcom, and she was like, the thing about the Dexcom is there's actually tricks to make the sensor that's supposed to be 14 days go for up to like 30 days or even 45 days. It's like turning it off and turning it back on. She's like, it still works. She works for labs. And she's like, I'll use the sensor for 45 days. You just reset it. Whereas you cannot do that with the Freestyle.
I can just see you like you're trying to hotwire a car. Like, we're going to find Joe in like 16 days, like hotwiring his thing.
Now, if you don't, by the way, if you do want to get a Dexcom and you don't have insurance, I did find out Costco, it's $300 for the sensor and it's $100 for the transmitter. And you don't need the reader. You can use your phone for the reader.
Great
it's actually 3 parts. But it is the best one you can get.
I feel like Freestyle Libre sounds like a surfing competition. Every single time I hear that, I think about a surfing competition.
Miriam said it sure is safer to do Whole Foods. It's like our bodies are designed for these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shonda said it's been high off and on. I need to see when I eat those OMG. Let's see.
Woo!
Christopher said my wife went from 96 to 220. I refuse to try it.
Wow, that is a huge spike.
Yeah, well, that's something we talked about with Dr. Barry. Rachel and I had talked about once I got back to my regular weight where I usually am, which is I want to lose about 10 pounds. I said I was thinking about doing a challenge because people keep saying that you need to follow only net carbs and that sugar, alcohols, and eating fibers, you can always deduct it and it's never going to affect you. So I thought about doing like 30 days of eating like a ridiculous amount of total carbs, like 250, but keeping the net under 20 to see what it would do to me, but I know what it's going to do to me. Dr. Barry was like, do not do that. Do not do that. He's like, that is just stupid.
Please don't be stupid. Joe, we get that a lot. Joe, Rachel,
I get that a lot from Rachel. Stop being stupid.
Stop being stupid, Joe. Gail says, maybe it's time for an upgrade ring, Rachel. Hint, hint. Yeah, and be like, while you're in there, fooling around with that ring.
Shanta said, I'm gone. Just throw them away and take the loss. Yeah. Anyone know of any gummies that are actually good? No. Make your own. That's about it. And you're never going to get them right. It's
the right consistency.
Okay, so what makes a gummy bear is corn syrup. That's how they make the original. It's a corn syrup. That's how they do it.
Trying to get around
There
that.
is the closest you're going to be able to get that is using an IMO fiber.
Okay.
Which is going to spike your blood sugar. There's no way around it. It's going to. So I have not tested them. Kiss My Keto has them.
Kiss My Keto.
But I'm pretty sure Kiss My Ketos are almost the same ingredients as Smart Sweets, but I have not tested them. I don't have them anymore. Judith says, what job did you have at the Washington Post?
I was a reporter for the style section. Mostly, talking to different... I mean, I did all kinds of stuff, mostly feature writing.
Chris said, Shanta, you can keep them for the kids that demand a treat. I'm guessing they're still better than regular sugar cane. I got news for you. The weight... To go from 60 to 290, I would almost be curious, like, how much does a regular gummy bear spike your blood sugar? Because that is a significant jump. I would be curious if anybody would ever do that. Not me. I'm not doing that, but...
Not me.
Let's test our kids. Let's do that.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony, come here. I got a new video for you.
So I'm in the middle of a Zoom call, and I get a text message from Anthony, who is in the pool, and he says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how mad would you be if I took this canoe on the side of the house and put it in the pool? And I'm like, okay, don't have a reaction right now. But I'm thinking, like, I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10. Do not put that canoe in the pool.
Yeah, we have a canoe that we bought years ago from a camping place that we love to go to, but it was owned by an old couple, and they were selling it, and they sold it to the state, I think.
Old couples sell stuff to the state.
And so we happened to go, and they're like, oh, we're getting rid of all the canoes. Do you want to buy a canoe? It was $50. So we're like, sure, we'll buy a canoe for $50. It's a beautiful canoe. But now we barely get to go camping, and we don't even have any way that we would really transport it because we started getting into kayaking more.
Can you believe it?
We're going to sell that on OfferUp, too.
Can you believe it?
Oh, so Christopher said Kiss My Keto has some that didn't affect us as much at all, except it sent his wife to the bathroom.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
sugar
Shelly
won't
said
spike,
high
but-
fat when using Zip Fizz. I've seen others using Ultima. Pretty easy to make. Yeah, they're more of they're kind of like a cross between a gummy bear and Jello, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, we've tried a few ourselves, and they never got the consistency that I like
soft.
as a gummy bear. I want it chewy. Rachel never liked gummy bears.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Brianna was born in Alexandria and lived in Fairfax City and Menses Park, and we moved to Colorado
Manassas.
30 years ago.
I actually went to church in Fairfax, and it was a church. The reason why I started going there was because it was at the end of the metro rail. It was the very last stop, and it was like I didn't have a car when I was living in DC, and so I could just go right on the metro rail to it. I loved it. I love the metro. The metro in DC is really awesome.
I've never been on it.
Very nice.
Christopher said, I've thought about selling bacon jam and keto cheesecake
You
bites.
should,
Absolutely.
sir. And we're first customers in line because it's amazing.
Deb said, maybe too old, but loves sacred.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows, Barnabas
Barnabas
Collins,
Collins.
and I used to stand behind the chair and peek out to watch.
So did you
Right Family said that Keto Chow has electrolyte gummy drops, gummy recipe.
Yes, along with a lot of amazing recipes. Did you like the Johnny Depp movie, Dark Shadows, that they did about with
That is not one of my favorites of his.
I like everything Johnny Depp.
I
and
like
thought it was
almost
cute.
everything
Almost,
Johnny Depp.
Almost. I like it when he's weird. Usually, Tim Burton films that he's in. Usually, sometimes when he'll venture out into other stuff where he's just like a regular guy, and it's really not my thing.
Right.
It's hard for him to be a regular guy, I think.
Yeah. Lucy said, I have an update. I got a DNA. Yeah, you messaged us about this. I got a DNA analysis done by Dr. Anthony J, and it turns out I have several MTHFR gene variants, so now I'm 1,000 times more grateful that Keto Chow is using the good stuff.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Keto Chow is using the good stuff. So
Yep.
that is awesome. That's really good news.
So if you haven't yet,
What's your
leave a comment on Monday's Keto on the Couch, because tomorrow or Saturday we're going to be picking 5 winners to do Keto Chow, giving away Keto Chow.
Yes. Did you see Chris's? You watch your mother language.
Becky said, Lee Min Ho, what's the name? I don't remember the name. It's King something. Alon said, is the dog jumping in the pool now and Anthony has clean and dry her? She's not quite jumping in yet. She'll go in. She comes up to the edge with us, but won't get in with us because she doesn't trust me.
Shifty.
Anthony, she'll go in with Anthony. If Anthony woos her in with like giving her treats and things like that. But I'm like, hey, you have to clean the pool now. I cleaned out the vacuum. So we have one of those robot vacuums where you plug it into an electrical outlet and it does the whole thing.
Was there another dog in there?
Yes. I mean, it was literally the amount of hair that came out of that because it's all sinking to the bottom of the pool. Mm-hmm. I should have saved it and put it in his room. Christopher said, I have to figure out affordable shipping because I haven't figured that out yet.
I love HD TV. I have it on right now. Noreen says, hello from Maine.
Lucy said, by the way, you all stuck with me. I'm going to Keto Salt Lake for sure.
Yay!
Yes.
Lucy, I can't wait to meet you in person.
September said, I may have to try making some, but I made cookies once and molded them to the pan. Had to throw it out.
She sounds like me.
Becky said Picard was so slow.
Mike says, hello from Las Vegas. Hello, Mr. Mike.
Joyce said, Rachel, were you a reporter for the Washington Post?
I was.
Chris said, live in my house, you do jobs. Simple as that. Yes. See, I knew I liked Chris. Miriam said they like to lay eggs in the same nesting box. We were watching a video on that a lot of that. Yeah,
Becky's
actually,
Homestead.
What is it? 8 chickens will use one nesting box. I thought that was interesting.
There's a YouTuber, it's called Becky's Homestead, and I am obsessed with this woman and also the way she talks because
Renee
she's
said,
adorable.
I tried the quail eggs, felt like I should have been cooking on a toy kitchen skillet, so tiny, but they were no different really as far as taste. Anthony and I are buying an ostrich eggs. We want to eat some ostrich eggs. You can buy ostrich. He found a place to buy ostrich eggs. We're going to eat ostrich eggs.
Every day is a new day.
We were talking about it in the car. He's like, can we buy some? I'm like, yes. You find the place and we will absolutely buy them and make them.
Just roll with it. I just roll with it. Every day I'm
Yeah,
hustling.
see? Chris said the chicks are going to clump together for warmth regardless of the available space. Give them less space.
No, give them more space for activities.
Heather said, Joe, you need your chickens to do pasture raised. The whole yard is now for chickens.
The whole house. Let's give them the whole
She's putting them in my bathroom. She's putting them in the bathroom.
The whole house. I want to be close to them. While they're babies. Not like we're going to put the hen house in there.
Renee said, real good products have proven way too many times to be really awful.
I know. We've tried. Domino's Pizza has a gluten-free crust. Anyone know what it's made of?
Probably not good. Gluten-free is not necessarily keto, unfortunately.
Right Family is going to get a Blackstone. I think you'll be very happy with that purchase, honestly.
I need to teach you how to use it. I'm telling you, you cook so much on it. And it's basically a giant frying pan. We made a lasagna bake on it today.
Yeah.
So I took all the ground beef. I love ground beef.
Me too.
So we did 1.5 pounds of ground beef on there. I browned it all up. I put a dome on top so that it keeps some of the juices in there.
Dome.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder. Then once it was mostly cooked, I put 1/4 cup of Rayo's tomato sauce in there.
Quarter.
Cooked it all up and then transferred it over to a baking dish to put some cheeses and put it in the oven. But literally the only thing to clean is the baking dish that we baked it in. Like no stovetop to clean, no spattered grease.
I want to learn, but it's just so much easier for you to just cook everything.
Yeah, but you keep cooking in the kitchen anyway.
Not really enough for me to learn something new.
All you have to do is turn the knob and press the button.
Oh, that seems like a lot.
Becky said the chicks not need to huddle together for warmth down here. The sun hangs out and just sits on top of us.
Right. Oh, so Constance says, by the way, thank you, Joe. I've grilled 3 times in less than a week. Day 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that thing is awesome.
It's so nice to just like have everything outside, right? And it cooks it just perfect. Because she got the wood pellet grill.
Yeah, she's got the smaller of the pit bull, the one that we started with.
It was funny because you were cleaning off something on the wood pellet grill, but you were cooking on the Blackstone, and all of a sudden Joe just goes, "Doesn't a wood pellet grill just smell
Nothing smells
so
better
good?"
than a wood fire for cooking.
Right.
Nothing.
Just it smells so good.
I turned it on just to get the smoke smell on me.
Rhonda
Plus,
says,
it's a good way to get her in
Please
bed.
do a review on the Sola ice cream. It's really good.
That.
3 net carbs per serving, and they're not playing the fiber game. Only 1 a gram.
I've looked for it. They don't have it anywhere around here.
Yeah, we have not seen that.
That one and the other one, the Keto brand that everybody gets at Costco, we can't find it anywhere. Chris, does Rachel chug bacon grease? I guess that would make her full. I don't think it would make her full.
I've not tried that. Is that a challenge,
Fran
sir?
said yes, an ice cream showdown, please.
Demolition Derby at the eye doctor. Yes, it is. It's totally like Crash Bandicoot or whatever.
Chris said I almost always back into parking spaces. You have to have your escape route ready. I never sit with my back to a door. I think and read too much Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy novels.
See, now I back in because I drive a truck, and the F-250 has the worst turning radius. You cannot pull in headfirst into a parking space. You have to back it in. And even if you can pull in, if you have to back out, it's very difficult. But I do the pull through a lot, which Rachel can't stand the pull through. Like when you get into the, you can pull through from one spot to the other side.
I mean,
your mom got yelled at by somebody, right? Said somebody told your mom it was illegal.
I don't think it's illegal.
It's not illegal. We asked the police officer, but they yelled at her for pulling through a spot one day. Right Family said, Chris, we have a redhead. You don't get any bacon grease. Renee said, I'm still waiting for Joe and Rachel to review King Oscar boneless, skinless sardines. We are going to go get them. I have it on my list the next time I go to Walmart. We just don't go to Walmart very often.
Renee. Yeah, but she did say they're boneless and they're skinless and they don't have any head and no guts. So I feel like it's better.
Gail said, I always back into parking spaces. I don't have a backup camera.
Because she must be just an awesome driver. But, like, I am missing that driving gene.
Becky said, love you guys, back to football. Yeah, tonight's the draft. Renee said, wouldn't the car be the same shape going in or coming out? No, because of turning radiuses. It's a little bit more, especially if you have a longer car. Miriam said, I love Keto and Friends. Great name.
Thank you.
Right Family said, we aren't allowed in the pharmacy. You text your prescription and make, model, and color of your vehicle, and they bring it out.
Oh, how cool is that? The driver's side is in the center of the garage, and the EV plug is on the correct side if I pull in. If I back in, the driver door is against the wall. Ugh, that's not good. Sherry says, definitely need more positivity. Can't wait for the interview. Yeah, I'm super excited for you guys to see it.
I just got to finish editing it.
Heather says, have to go through the drive-through or curbside pickup at pharmacies here. There's a lot of things that are doing like the drive up. You know, Mom was very excited that the pet supply store is making deliveries. And she actually sent me pictures of it, of like the bag encased in a bag.
That's awesome.
With like rubber bands and stuff. And she's not here, right? So I could talk about okay, so she sounds like my grandmother so much at this point, because she's determining what are all the things she's going to do with this new extra bag that she got, right? It's a plastic bag that her things are in. And I'm like, you're supposed to throw that out because that would be the thing
that's contaminated.
That would be contaminated. And she's like, oh, but this is a heavy duty utility bag and it came with a real industrial type of rubber band. And I mean, this isn't any kind of silly rubber band. I mean, this is good stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds like my grandmother. This is like World War II over there.
Fran said, okay, Pork and Good ordered Pork and Good, Cereal School, and Chalk Zero this week. Back on track, down 5 pounds, I think, of inflammation.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So Pork and Good actually commented on that video. I was really excited to see that because they basically addressed everything that we talked about. And we didn't really say anything bad, but they said they're working on their website. They are working on doing a bundle. They're trying to do a bundle. In the comments, he also said that
they had barbecue
they've been trying to do barbecue for a while. They actually just had a meeting on it. That for barbecue flavor, which is what I said in the video, it's very difficult. Almost every barbecue seasoning is loaded with sugar because barbecue is usually sweet.
And they said they might take a crack at Cracklins.
Yeah, they said they may take a crack at Cracklins, but they said with the barbecue that they tried one using, what was it? The best ones that they've ever had had erythritol and monk fruit, but it doesn't work right with a pork rind for some reason. And so they tried another one, but it was I think it was stevia, but they said it wasn't as good. So they are trying. So I thought it was just cool that they really said that, hey, we are working on some of these things that you talked to. Reminded me a lot of Chris and Miriam because they are a tiny company. And that's one of the things that we fell in love with Chris and Miriam about is that when we made suggestions, when we first reviewed Keto Chow a year ago, and I'm like, well, I don't like this and I don't like that. They commented back like, well, you can do this, or this is something that maybe you didn't understand. And I appreciated that from whenever an owner of a company comes in and says, well, let me work on that. Let me improve things.
Or let me clarify it, because maybe, like, in our case, we totally had it wrong.
Right. Like Nush Cakes is awesome. You tell Nush Cakes, this flavor, I don't like this flavor. Enough people do it. They start reformulating it. They're on, like, their third formulation because they're always making things better. I love that about them. Right Family said, we pull up to the door and had someone answer, and they hand us a bag of meds. Sounds bad.
Doesn't that sound bad? And you may even be masked at the time that you're doing that. So you're like, you're wearing a bandana across your face and exchanging money for drugs.
Chris said, the problem with the term processed foods is literally everything is processed. Cheese is processed, butchered meat is processed, homemade yogurt I made is processed. Yep, absolutely. Sherry said good night. She's leaving. Yeah, we're getting off.
Good night, Sherry. Have a good day tomorrow.
Let's see. There's always a conversation within a conversation. Weathers Wendy said, I like my Dexcom 6, no out-of-pocket at all, and in my insurance program called Level 2.
Chris is like, Rachel be like, so wait, you'll get 7 consecutive trials of Showtime and drop how much on a CGM? Exactly. But somehow...
I'm one of these people that looks for every sale but doesn't want to spend $3 on a tube of toothpaste.
Right. But then there'll be some weird thing
I'm
that it's like...
I'm not paying for the CGM.
He has
my
to,
insurance
laser
is...
in.
See, that was my thing, is that Costco, I'm not paying for it. I only have to pay $25 deductible. CVS wanted $300. Figure that logic out. I don't understand that one at all. Miriam said, do you still have to calibrate the Dexcom once a day too? Not, from what I understand, the G6 doesn't. The G5 made you calibrate it.
Come right in said, I heard someone describe a CGM as a lie detector test. I love that analogy. I am so much more likely to test how different foods impact my blood sugar because I can easily check as often as I want. Yeah. That's and it's immediate. The moment that you feel like, I really need to check this, and then you do it. Like, that's kind of cool.
So Patty Epps said, I can't get my functional medical doctor to prescribe a CGM for me. He said he would not diagnose me with diabetes in order to order one. That is not true. So, again, I've talked to Dr. Berry about this, and so long as, pardon my French, you have a set of balls.
Oh, no.
He said, tell your doctor, that's fine. I'm trying to prevent myself from diabetes. He said, if you've ever had one blood sugar spike, which every one of us has, go drink a can of Coke and then go tell them, test my blood sugar. I had a blood sugar spike. If you want to have it. So I say, hey, I'm trying to prevent myself from getting diabetes. You were refusing to give me the tools, even though I'm willing to pay for that. So I want you to notate my chart that you are refusing to give me a CGM, and I want a copy of that chart right now. And Dr. Berry said, watch how fast your doctor is going to prescribe, because basically what you're telling the doctor is, I'm asking for it, you're refusing it to give to me, so I'm going to take documentation. So if something happens, if I do get diabetes, if I do have any kind of blood sugar problem, I'm suing you.
And they won't risk it.
They
usually
don't want that. So,
but we want to say things with our
in a nice
sweet
way,
voices,
or find a new doctor
with sweet, kind words.
Guess what?
Hey, uh-oh, I got caught talking about her plastic bag. Just noticed your pretty dress. Yes, do you recognize this dress, young lady?
Lucy said, I just want to test and see what impacts me. Plus, I've been having morning fasted readings over 100. All the more reason why you need one.
Yeah. Keto on a budget. Hey, how's it going, girl? I ate a Power Crunch bar. It has maltodextrin in it, but weighed down on the list. Blood sugar spiked to 181. So even with it weighed down on the list, maltodextrin affects me. Yeah,
everybody is different.
I have a feeling that, like, I'm with you.
It also depends on what kind of maltodextrin it is. So there's a couple of different types of maltodextrin. You also have, like, resistant maltodextrin, which is not supposed to impact you as much. You know, it's just like anything else. There's like 100 names for things.
Speaking of 100, Stephanie says, y'all don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
Thank
107
you.
watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we need to get off soon.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Renee said, I'm wanting to increase my protein due to the hair breakage. I've looked at protein. Nothing compares to Keto Chow. Can I mix it without the fat? I can't do collagen. Okay, so I'll let Chris talk about it, but you can mix it, but just make sure you're getting fat throughout the day. You know, you want it. Some people will try to say, well, I don't want to have any fat. Well, you need the fat, because you need the fat to be able to use a lot of the vitamins that are in there. Renee said can't do collagen due to... okay. Christopher said, I think the net carb total carb test is crazy to do to yourself, but I also think it's crazy that you do all your reviews but by tasting before you look at ingredients and nutritional. I couldn't do that. That is true, but we have an idea. Like, I'm not going to, like, just get some random product. Like, I go products that I know that are being, like,
at least marketed
to the keto space.
Oh, we have a bar review coming up soon.
Yes.
My thing is not so much of, like, what it's going to do to us. Is, like, you go in thinking, okay, this is going to taste right. This is going to taste okay. And sometimes you get something that it's a mouthful of, what was that? What happened there? Pickle juice, for instance.
Stephanie said, need to get you the huge avocado floaty on Amazon. Okay.
Yes, Gummy Bear song.
Lucy said, at least you figured out so you can avoid it.
Yeah. Oh, so Patty says she's ridden the Metro too. It's awesome. It is awesome.
Go ahead.
I can't risk my hands contracting in my line of work. Doc quickly wanted to send me to a surgeon, but I've been managing on my own. Bless your heart, Renee.
You know, a bunch of the Johnny
Depp movie was not good.
Dark Shadows. No, I grew up watching the original.
Yeah. Well, and actually, the gentleman who played Barnabas is in the movie. He made a cameo along with a couple of the other original cast members. Alan is doing 30 days Keto Chow in May. Yay!
That's awesome.
I can't wait to see what flavors did you get, Alan? Brianna said, my father built large parts of the metro system in D.C., Virginia, and Maryland. Also the Mormon temple in Maryland and many other buildings. Concrete construction superintendent. Wow. My grandfather was a plasterer, and I do take so much pride, probably just like you do, when you see these beautiful buildings that you know so many people work so hard on. Thank you.
My grandfather, like a lot of the houses all along like Collins Avenue and stuff down in Miami, he painted he was a painter. And my dad actually worked on all of the big tall skyscrapers, like the Fontainebleau and stuff like that.
That's amazing. But thank you to your dad for all of his hard work. We enjoy those beautiful buildings and the metro system. Lorena says hi from Virginia.
Renee said treatment is usually cutting out fibrous strands, but they come back.
Kathleen says, sweet dreams, y'all. And get the emo eggs, Heather says.
Chris said, start with turkey eggs, then you can move up to ostrich eggs.
And pretty soon, velociraptor eggs, and then finally end on the T-Rex.
September said, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, favorite Johnny Depp movie of all time. That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah. I remember that movie. I also liked What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Shanta said, ostrich meat is nasty, but I want to try the egg.
I had an ostrich burger at Fuddruckers, of all things. I don't know what, grade of ostrich meat it was.
Deb said, my neighbor has chickens and ducks. Both are excellent. The duck eggs are so rich and big. We've been looking for them, but we can't find them.
The little duckies were so cute.
Renee said, I've tried balut just once, though, to say I did. I survived. I want that so bad. There's no way I can't get Rachel to eat liver. There's no way she's going to eat a balut egg.
That's the one with the baby in it.
Yes.
No.
He said, Joe and Rachel, you should check out Country View Acres on YouTube. They did a good job on a video on building chicken pens.
I know what we're doing later.
Do you remember I Love Lucy with the baby chick episode?
Yes. Although my favorite one is, I don't know. My favorite I Love Lucy could be the wine one or the one where she works in the chocolate factory.
Yes, that's the best one.
I feel like that's me just at work all the time.
Chris said, Brianna said, I'm proud of my dad, 86 years old, keto since January 3rd, 2020, reversing his diabetes with chicken-flavored keto.
Wow.
That is so awesome.
That is an awesome, awesome victory. Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
Chris said, how to use a Blackstone. Turn it on, add yummy fatty food, flip, wipe off the extra grease when you're done.
Or one, Joe, I need some food in my mouth hole.
Yvonne said, when you get those ostrich eggs, do a video and let us know where you can buy them as well.
Joe was arrested earlier for raiding a local zoo in search of ostrich eggs. We also ate a lion.
Rachel said, Steph said, Rachel, you sound like my mom. She called me one day out of breath. I thought something was wrong, but she said she wore out opening a can of chili and heating it in the microwave.
My grandmother was so enamored with the microwave. She used to, her and my grandfather treated it like it was like Saturday night at the movie theater. They would put whatever food it was into the microwave and then just sit there and watch it cook. The rotation of it, just, yeah.
Brianna said, by the way, Chris, did you get your PPP? We got approved, but it only heard crickets chirping for 2 weeks. So, we applied for the PPP too, and unfortunately, I got a thing saying, on the first day that you can do it, and then we got a thing the next day going, yep, no more money. So, for us, they said they were waiting to see if the government's going to release more money.
I'm going to Keto on a Budget's house because she made an amazing steak yesterday, cooked it in bacon grease, and now she has a beef tallow / bacon grease mixture.
Oh, that's good.
That sounds like gravy to me.
Heather said, Phil backs in everywhere. Too many deployments, always has an escape route.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, that's another military people a lot of times will back in. And I always thought it was so cool. I always wanted to be that guy. I don't think I'm fooling anybody as far as being a cool person, especially since they can see me totally using the backup camera.
Keto on Budget said a lot of pharmacies are delivering now even prescriptions.
That's amazing.
Renee said, as long as you mean the yolk runny and not the white. Yes. Never eat a runny white.
Or runny yellow. Don't eat any of it runny.
Keto Budget said, my pork and good order came in today. White cheddar, got my Chalk Zero peanut butter cups today. I'm so jealous. I want those things. I messaged her and she's like, we sold out of those in an hour.
They were it's like the peanut butter, the bunnies.
Yeah.
The bunnies went quick.
Brianna said, runny yolks, whites cooked.
Okay, Chris.
I can't do runny eggs. I'm funny about the whole salmonella, and our eggs are from chickens that haven't even met another chicken, so they're not going to have anything. Salmonella comes in the white, but you have a better chance. Well, we don't have any, but you have a better chance of getting salmonella and diseases from flour. Everybody always worries about raw cookie dough. They thought it was because of the eggs. No, it's actually the flour.
You know what else? Runny eggs are terrible. They're also disgusting and yuck. Miriam says, I got an email from a car dealership that said they would come pick up our cars for their services. That is amazing.
Chris said, pork and good should try allulose. It would totally work. I don't know, maybe I have to look and see what it was that she told me. That it's in the comments section.
Rhonda said, I ordered spicy butter and salt and vinegar. Okay, so all of those are amazing.
We ordered the new flavor, which they told me
dill pickle.
What she said to me when I was messaging her today, she said, if you like dill,
I do.
There is no getting around the fact that these are dill.
So Rhonda, I really want you to make sure you have a beverage with you if you got those like crazy hot ones. Stupid hot.
I finished them today.
Well, they're amazing, but like they are hot. Hot.
Lucy said, I dipped my pork and good pork rinds into my bone broth and it sounded like Pop Rocks.
Oh, I have not done that. We need to do that. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like pork rinds in the bone broth? Oh.
Constance said, I got my pork and good from Nutrition. It's cheaper.
Ooh, good to know.
It's more affordable now from what I can see. Chris said it's more expensive than erythritol, but has better properties for certain recipes. He's talking about allulose.
Yeah.
Yes. Christopher gets his on Amazon. It's not that expensive, more than sugar, obviously.
Good night. Have a blessed day tomorrow.
Heather said banana nut nush cakes warm with butter. Thank you, Miriam, for that tip.
Ooh, yes. Or cream cheese. I like cream cheese on it.
We just finished up the last of our nush cakes, and
The
I
carrot
will
cake.
not be getting any
They're
more.
too good.
Because I can't not eat
And
them.
we've got to wait until once the door opens and everyone's allowed back into the world, then we can have them back in the house.
Rhonda said order the spicy hot, salted butter, salt and vinegar, pork and good.
Yeah, they're so good. I ordered the spicy pork rind crumbs from Pork and Good. I'm going to make spicy chicken fried in coconut oil. Oh my gosh, that's going to taste really, really good. In fact, I would also like some chicken tenders made with those.
Lisa said, hey, thought I missed you, but you're still going. Yeah, I know. I'm sure I
Sorry.
missed a lot. We'll catch the new play in the morning. I already passed my bedtime. Stuck with you till the end.
Aw.
How far are we behind? It says we're right there.
I'm so sorry. Let's see. Renee says, I guess staying at home, people get creative with their greenery.
Chris said Jay's going to be going till tomorrow morning.
Sorry.
It's only an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. We're doing good. I saw Phil. Hi, Phil.
Can I mix keto chow in my coffee? Yes.
Yes, you can. Heidi, hello from North Dakota.
Keto on a budget's going to bed. Chris said no brisket.
I'm ordering
Alan
chocolate.
is ordering chocolate and chocolate toffee. This time.
Good. You will not be disappointed with either of those. Chris says my name is Earl. That was a great show. That was a 90s show. Or could it be even 2000s show? What are we going to call those?
I've lost my sense of time now because I'm so old. Crabman. Yes.
Hey.
No, my name is Earl. Crabman.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I loved... Yeah, didn't you...
Chris said that's how Miriam uses the Blackstone, too. She yells at me to cook her an egg.
I loved the relationship between Earl and his ex-wife.
Yes.
Was she a stitch? Oh, don't rub your nose. Take your nose off.
Stephanie said, need to teach people to throw empty boxes bags away in my house. Went to make keto chow for tomorrow and found an empty banana keto chow bag.
Because maybe we could do something else with that bag. That's how my mom would be.
Christopher said, I've never worried about raw cookie dough. I ate it all the time. Steph loves runny eggs.
Oh my gosh. Renee says, can you imagine making a fried ostrich egg with runny yolk? Ugh. Ugh. Pork rinds and bone broth seems like it could make like an oriental wonton type soup.
That sounds really good.
Yes.
Oh, we did it.
Also, I would do keto on the budget, like the bacon grease tallow mixture that she has with some pork rinds. That would make a great dip.
Deb said I made the 2KK keto brick chocolate mug cake today. It was very good and so filling.
Thanks, Deb.
Well, an hour 45 minutes, we can't do that other thing.
What other thing?
The keto crate thing. We'll have to do that on another video.
We will do it. Yes. So if anybody knows Lisa,
we'll give her one more day. I'll send her another message.
Yes.
Lisa Bell won the keto crate and she never contacted us. So
call me.
If we don't hear from her tomorrow, we're going to probably just do another draw.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what happens is keto crate will stop giving one to give away.
So we want. Joe, you totally cheated.
You guys are all having a bunch of conversations within our conversation. So Renee said, hey, Grayson, because Grayson's loud right now.
Sorry. We did it. Just skipped half of the comments. Oh my goodness. Lucy said, did you mention Malcolm in the Middle? That show made us feel like the best kids ever. I love that show, Malcolm in the Middle, especially the mom. Like, I felt like I was her. And another one that I love was just The Middle with Patricia Heaton.
Yeah, but that's not from the 70s or the 80s.
Well, neither is Malcolm in the Middle, but like That is a great show.
Shanta said, Lisa, let me have it.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of, for all of you who stuck to the end, I got a message from Julie at Redmond's Real Salt today. So we're gonna do it on a video coming soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're doing another Redmond giveaway, and the giveaway is going to be some salt. She told me whatever I feel like it, but some salt and also this T-shirt.
yes.
So sometime one of our videos next week, we're going to do a Redmond giveaway.
Well, here's the thing. It's not this T-shirt.
No.
It'll be a T-shirt like this one in your size.
It's my favorite Redmond shirt, though.
That's new. Because they don't want your shirt that you've
No.
worn. Because it's got Joe on it.
Christopher said, do you know how hard it is to scroll past comments?
Like Dora. We did it. We did it.
Good night, guys.
Dora.
Malcolm in the Middle, white and witness protection.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That is. It's like Malcolm in the Middle is because the guy, Bryan Cranston is in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
And he's awesome at it. Like oh my gosh, when he's just like standing around in his underwear. And then, yeah, but he goes on to be Walter White in Breaking Bad, but that would be witness protection for him. To be hiding that family.
Renee said, trust me, Miriam, my patients think I'm a dork because they say it like that to them when they do Stranger Great. Mira Chris said, Miriam finally just broke down and bought the Redmond's salt cellar. She hasn't even filled it up yet.
Ooh, I'll have to check. What is the salt cellar? I want both those things.
What is the salt cellar?
Is it the brown thing that we have, you mean?
I don't know.
That thing is awesome. All right, so Stacy says I want both those things, Redmond salt and one of the cool shirts.
Yeah, so it'll be a couple of different types of salt and stuff. I know they said they were like back ordered on the seasoned salt that we like.
So that seasoning salt is the bomb.com.
Yeah.
Shanta, I read nobody enjoyed the live. I was like, what?
Okay, guys, we're getting off. It's almost 2 hours. We're getting off.
Don't forget to get your fluorescent outfit and your roller skates and your big hair and your Madonna bow and your one glove and your sequin jacket because we are going to be in the 80s next week on Thursdays.
Chris said the salt cellar is the bamboo thing for salt. Yes. We have one of those things.
That's my favorite thing ever, actually.
We may have a bunch of them soon. So, good night, everyone.
We love you.